Welcome back, everybody. My name is Grace, or Gibby, and this is another episode of the Yulgar Only series. Now, normally, Yulgar Only is videos I make to work as a guide for players to get difficult items. This isn't exactly a guide because it was more to see if I could just do something with Yulgar Only items. Given some recent updates, that wasn't possible before. So this is more of a challenge, not a guide, although it does work as a guide because obviously I did complete the challenge. And that challenge, as you can see on screen, is the Moderator Gauntlet challenge mode, no heals in between, and whatnot. Now the only difference between this one and the other one I did is one, this is on a level 150, not a level 135 adventurer. Debatably harder, debatably easier, depending who you ask, depending on what build you're running. And two, I used 0 potions. The reason I was able to use 0 potion is because of a couple updates, mainly the release of the Myrmidon set. Now the Myrmidon set has been covered in some backlash by the player, not on the status, by the player base, not the status. But I always thought that some of the items were just a little bit of power creep. No huge deal, but today I went in and refined my Yulgar only method for the Moderator Gauntlet. Basically, Afterlife X and Carandor are easy. They just do a lot of damage, so you just have to be ready for that. We have Liquid Courage, which makes the Afterlife X totally fine. Dumb is the hard one. Now, for the method I did on my earlier video, way back when, that was a guide. I used 8 elemental spells, or I used a spell that does 8 elements. This time I used a random element weapon. Now, you don't, I never published this, but about 6 months ago, I tried a method for Dumb when the Acts of Kindness came out, just with the Peeling Pen Guest and the Teacup of Life Mist, and I was wondering if that could sustain through with the Retro Golden Undeadify effect for defensive purposes, and it was not quite good enough to sustain through. But now, we have the Myrmidon Mist, which gives healing resistance, although it may be changed in the future. And I used the lowest level version to get the healing resist for the lowest upkeep. Because this Mist can be unequipped and re-equipped quick cast, not like Teacup of Life, it means I can use Essence Orb and healing spells in combination with the Starfish Stalwart Shield to heal a lot more than I could with the other setup each turn, if needed. So this setup took me a long time to get the kill, but I didn't need infinite ramping, I didn't need any of that. I could just attack with a melee weapon, and eventually I wore Dumb down. I did use some ally assists to speed it up, 1 to lower defense and 2 for a little bit of raw damage, but it's totally doable without that. I could have brought Nerf Kitten probably and made it a little easier. But yeah, that's pretty much the method. Could this method be applied to other bosses? Definitely yes. The Acts of Kindness is kind of overlooked as a free-to-play accessible pet and guest booster, but combined with a healing pet and guest, it really just does give you borderline immortality against most fights. Dumb is known for being one of the highest damage bosses, even with Undeadify, because so much of his damage is harm. So the fact that you can just tank his damage with a healing setup like this, and at no real risk to yourself, and you only need to use healing spells when he gets like a bunch of random and lucky celerity procs and you get stun locked for a couple turns. So it's just really strong. And the Acts of Kindness and the Myrmidon items are just one example of power creep we've had lately, but it made me want to try this out. But that's pretty much it. The kill is very simple. I just click attack, buff my pets and guests, and sustain my HP when needed with regen and a healing spell. That's pretty much all. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy. And let me know if you have any other ideas for challenges that could make that the items could make easier. Have a great day, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.